So I have 3 weeks to make a performance of 45 minutes. 3 weeks equals 3 times 5, so it's 15. 45 minutes in those 15 days equals to about 3 minutes of material per day. What I have already: I have 10 professional dancers, I have 1 lighting designer, I have 1 musician slash sound designer, I have a small bunch of props, a working budget, and of course, me. Up until now, people have known me as dancer of that company. And it's very difficult to break through and to kind of let people know that I'm not just performing material, but that I'm actually creating that material. That I'm an artist that is creating, that has a vision, and that is translating that vision into material. We'll be working with a lot of improv because I really want to work with the material that the dancers provide me with. And for me, it will be interesting to see how it is to kind of paste my physicality and my way of moving onto different bodies, and to see how they will interpret it. So I really want it to be an artistic collaboration with the dancers, musician, and the light designer. I don't want us to kind of create material separately and then just paste all of it together. And I think concepts are a way to fuse the ideas together from the beginning. If we take the concept of slow motion, what we find when we work on the music could influence the choreography and the dance and the performance. Of course, you need to have some kind of readaptation of the idea. You can't just paste it on top of it and like, all right, it's finished. Sometimes you have to reimagine what it means. What does slow motion mean when you're talking about lighting, for example? There's of course this whole mixture of like fear and excitement, because I've never done this on such a big scale. I've worked with different dancers, which I made solos for some dancers of the Conservatory of Lyon in France. But this is so different because you work one-on-one, so you can kind of draw things out of them, and you put your input and your vision. Whenever you work with people, there's always personal stories that come along. When you work with one person, even when problems arise, you kind of know how to deal with it because you start getting to know the person. But when you have a group of 10 dancers and things go wrong, especially because they're carrying a whole history with them. Like they've been working together for years. Some people are like newer than others, but they have a whole kind of history that they're carrying along with them. And it's quite it's a sensitive thing, I find. You have to find a way to not just deal with it, but even to be able to use or to utilize this in a good way without necessarily abusing it. I don't mean like abusing their weaknesses, but kind of using it in a way that empowers them. Stuff like this isn't like written down in a book, or at least not in a book that I've read, and it's also not something that is taught. I think there's a lot of artists that are amazing artists that make amazing work for themselves, but once they start scaling their work, they don't really know how to deal with a group, for example. Documenting this in the moment that I'm possibly going to be the most vulnerable might actually add some value. Sharing my artistic process is a way to draw in people from other artistic disciplines. Thanks for watching. Bye.